My name's Natalie. I'm a student in the Therapeutic Recreation Program at Georgian College. How are you doing today? Is there anything you want to talk to me about?
I'm doing okay, I guess. My mom's recently given me a really hard time. I guess I should start with she's pretty sick. She's bipolar, and so kind of being in this field, I feel like I should be really understanding, but I think it's a little bit different when it's your own family member. And basically she feels, she's also divorced and she's living by herself in Toronto, and I'm here and my sister's in Quebec, so everyone's everywhere. And she always wants me to come home and see her for special occasions like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and which is totally understandable, but my boyfriend and I, we have to split up our time between his family and my mom. So my mom always feels like she's left out or she's not as important, and she makes a lot of really mean comments about being forgotten about, or like, I'm really pissed off because you don't think of me, or all these things. And basically I called her the other day and she said, yeah, we're still good for Christmas, right? Like this time to this time. And it totally slipped my mind. I have lots of stuff going on with school, and so I feel really bad that this happened. And I said, well, you know, James's family, my boyfriend, we're kind of doing Christmas like a whole day thing, and I was hoping we could do either maybe like all Christmas Eve or the day after, or maybe like sleepover and see her in the morning for breakfast. And she basically just started like, she went on like instant defensive mode and just started yelling and saying, you know, you don't care about me, you know, like I've had enough of this, I have to put myself first, and you just don't care, and your boyfriend also has done all this stuff, and you know, just, I don't know, she just exploded at me. And so before I got really angry and said mean things, I like shut off the phone. I told her I had to go. But yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like from what I hear, your mom is really expecting a lot of your time over the holidays, and you're just trying to split it up between your mom and your boyfriend and his family and your family to kind of be fair to everyone. And and she's kind of expecting you to spend more time with her.
Yeah, she's expecting that, and she always feels like just because it's only like her, when his family is like 11 people, you know, that they, you know, they would get the priority. And I've really tried to make it, she's also said, you know, you only ever do come and visit me on like Thanksgiving or like holidays, and I've really tried to go and visit her random days with coffee and whatnot. And I called her the next day to say I was really sorry about how I acted, and then she just exploded on me, said, you know, you're not sorry, and you've not changed, and all this horrible, like, mean things. And yeah, basically we were just like yelling at each other, and she talked over me for 15 minutes. I tried to get my point across, tell her to be a bit open-minded. I'm trying my best. You're not seeing this from my perspective, and yeah, I was basically screaming at the street. So yeah,
it sounds like you're really trying to make the relationship work, and maybe your mom isn't responding in the way that you hope.
No, she's not, and we're both really stubborn. So because she was talking over me, I just got progressively louder, and yeah, that's how I began yelling in the street. So
I really know how you feel. My mom and I have a kind of a strained relationship, and we often don't get along, and I often find myself yelling and feeling embarrassed afterwards.
Yeah, I felt so
in the street.
embarrassed.
And,
I felt very embarrassed, and I felt really sad because, you know, I have to remember that, you know, some of these things my mom says is because she maybe like, she's alone, she doesn't have any support systems. And so I feel, you know, I felt like crap afterwards because, you know, I feel like that daughter that's, you know, not, you know, not making her happy, and then I said all these mean things.
I do know how you feel, because my mom is also alone, and so I feel like she leans on me a lot. Do you feel like that at all?
Yeah, exactly. It's like her only support system.
Yeah.
So if you're not there, who is?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
and sometimes, you know, I think it is only human to kind of react maybe in a way that you feel bad about afterwards. But I think as long as you can, like you said, you call and apologize, and that's really making an effort. And I think you should feel proud of yourself for trying.
Well, until that happened, the screaming in the street,
Yeah.
and I actually hung up on her again. And then this past weekend I called her, and she said there's nothing to say, and all this stuff, and I don't know, and then we just kind of broke down to each other, and she didn't really recognize that she's done a lot of stuff to hurt us, because when I told her, she just kept going on how bad of a daughter I was, and that she's only ever done things out of unconditional love, and I told her to reflect, and that was the second time when I was screaming in the street. And then she tells me she spent 2 hours writing down all the things she's ever done right to me, and she just totally missed the point. And it was really upsetting, and the way that we kind of like concluded that fight was like, I guess, agreeing to disagree.
Okay.
But I don't know, I guess I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like inadequate, and it upsets me because, I don't know, I'm her closest, like my sister's in Quebec, so I'm like the daughter that should be there.
Yeah, so you're feeling kind of hurt and like maybe you don't know what to do because you have been trying and it's been going this way.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, sometimes I feel really helpless, but right now we're kind of okay, and it's just until something else like sparks up, so I don't know how to approach it.
Yeah.
Next time.
That makes sense. And so, can you think of any maybe techniques you could use for trying to approach her? I know you did mention that she has bipolar disorder, and I don't know if maybe the program has taught you anything about how to deal with someone like that, but you did mention as well that it's different when it's a family member.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of like distance yourself, but yeah, when it's happening to you, it's a little bit different. But I don't know. I mean, I guess trying to really go in there with an open mind and be like, maybe this isn't really just her talking, and that she doesn't really mean it. But she's also, like I said, she's really stubborn, and she's very closed-minded about a lot of stuff. So I've been, through schooling and whatnot, I'm really trying to like introduce her to new things and kind of open her mind up. But I just gotta go in there with patience and maybe have barriers before things get too bad.
I think that sounds, like a really good plan, to have patience and barriers and an open mind. Those are 3 really good points. Yeah.
It's easier said than done, though,
of course.
So, of course. But, I don't know. Still kind of, I feel a lot better, like a weight is lifted, that since we've kind of made up. But at the back of my mind, I'm just like, she just pulls this kind of stunt way too often.
Yeah, it sounds like you're feeling like you anticipate it to maybe happen again, and so it's hard to feel hopeful, maybe?
Yeah. But, I don't know. I feel she brought up a comment about just being, like you haven't changed, and I've tried to make, a change, and she just hasn't really noticed, so, it's kind of upsetting.
Yeah, it sounds like you're pretty upset, and it makes sense, for sure.
I mean, we're going to see her this Christmas, and we actually planned around it, and my boyfriend, we talked to his family, and we kind of hashed things out, and everything's okay, and made time for her, and she sounded pretty excited to see us after everything.
Oh, good. Yeah, it sounds like you've taken some really positive steps to kind of improve the relationship and make Christmas work, I think you can give yourself some credit for putting so much thought and time into making it work, and maybe do you sometimes feel like your mom just doesn't notice how much effort you're putting into the relationship?
I really do.
Yeah.
It's like she just thinks I'm like that teenager that she lived with when, before I moved away to university, and I feel like she just hasn't seen me enough to realize that I've kind of made steps in the right direction to becoming a young lady.
Yeah.
That she wants, her daughters to be.
Yeah, it sounds like you feel like you've really changed a lot and matured, and maybe she's not recognizing that.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I feel also coming back to like the support systems and just like the amount of people that she actually, I don't know, communicates with on a daily basis, and like she doesn't have too many friends around her area or whatnot.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of hard, and so she kind of like just stays within, you know, her like thoughts and doesn't really expand. And so I don't think she really wants to even see, you know, doesn't expect me to make any kind of change just from who I used to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our session is coming to an end.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we finish things off?
No, I feel a lot better just explaining it.
Okay,
So
good.
I appreciate you kind of like agreeing that that's a way to deal with things, because I don't know, I know it's going to come up again.
Mhm.
And hopefully.
I think you sound kind of prepared for it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.